Hello, I'm Claire Smith and welcome to my channel. So first thing, I really want to just thank you all because I now have over 100 subscribers. In fact, I probably nearly have about 120 at the moment. So that's really amazing, and I'd just like to thank everybody because getting that on Christmas Day was just such a lovely surprise. So thank you very much. So today I've got 3 perfumes for you. All of these were blind buys. I had no idea what they smelled like before I bought them, but I'd heard so much about them on YouTube. Well, 2 of the 3 I'd heard very much on YouTube. So the first one is probably the most famous and is probably the one that has been on my wish list for the longest. So I think the first person I heard talk about this was maybe Mila LeBlanc. I think she had this perfume featured in her most unique perfumes video. And I've also recently seen Chantal Tiffany talk about this one. So she had this one featured, I think, in her red perfume bottles. So I don't know whether you've managed to guess, but it's actually this one. So it's called Gucci Rush. So this is a 30ml bottle. It comes in this like plastic sort of container that looks almost like a cassette tape or a video cassette tape maybe. It's very of its time. I mean, this perfume came out in 1999. So if this came out today, it would be completely frowned upon to put a perfume in a plastic container. This stands out on the shelf nowadays. I'm sure it did stand out then because it's not a glass bottle and it's just bright red. So, you know, you can't help but look at it, and it's just, it invites curiosity. It makes you want to smell it. So what's the story behind this one? So Tom Ford became the artistic director of Gucci Perfumes and Gucci in general from 1994. So it was during his time at Gucci that this came out. And then he stayed until 2004, and then Gucci was eventually sold to Procter & Gamble and then resold again in 2015 to Coty. So this perfume has been subject to a number of reformulations, and that's why I went for a vintage bottle of this perfume over a newer bottle, because I kind of wanted to experience the original formulation over the newer formulation. So I'm going to stick the notes up for the older and the newer formulation for you, and I'm going to just talk you through the differences. The original formulation has peach, California gardenia, African freesia petals, coriander, damask rose, jasmine, patchouli and vetiver. And the new notes, which you can find on websites in the UK such as Superdrug and Boots, but probably, you know, other websites around the world, retailers might have the new notes on there. So the new notes are bergamot, peony, gardenia, violet, vanilla, jasmine and patchouli. So what are the main differences? The main differences are that the peach, the freesia petals, the coriander, the rose and the vetiver have been removed from the new formulation, and instead they've added in bergamot, peony and violet. So how is this going to change the perfume? I have no idea. I only have the older one, as I've said. You can tell whether your bottle is the older or the newer formulation by looking at the underneath. So you will see, I'll put a picture on the screen, you will see the lot number, and you will also see whether the perfume says Scannon or whether it says Coty. If it says Coty, it's more likely to be the reformulated version, and I'll sort of stick all the details in the description box below so you can investigate yourselves if you're curious. So what does this perfume smell like? So let's let it dry. So this one, initially when I smell this, I just smell Barbie doll. It's just plastic. It just smells plasticky. It smells like plastic peach. I don't really get anything from the gardenia or the freesia or the rose even. Maybe there's a hint of coriander. It's sort of slightly spicy, and there's also a little bit of patchouli, but I don't really, and vetiver, but I don't really get any vanilla at all. So the idea of this perfume is that it's meant to be completely synthetic, and that's kind of what this bottle sort of represents. It represents plastic. It represents something that's been manufactured, something that's synthetic. So this perfume features notes that have been synthesized to reenact the fruits and the flowers. So it has something called jasmolactone in it, and it also has something called decalactone, which is a synthetic peach smell. And it also has other aldehydes in it, which sort of elicit that kind of plasticky smell. when it dries, it's linear. It's such a linear perfume. All I really smell is like a very plasticky peach and like a very synthetic jasmine. There's not much else. There's maybe a little bit of the coriander and then sort of the base note of the patchouli that's just helping it last and project. But really, it's just like Barbie doll. It just smells plastic. It smells very synthetic. It smells like electrical equipment, new electrical equipment. It's a very, very, very odd perfume, and I can see why somebody would think this was unique and would think that it was original, because there's nothing, I've not smelled anything like this other than Barbie dolls. It's just a Barbie doll. This perfume is not something that you're gonna wear to a sophisticated event. It's something that kind of is joyously trashy. It's something that you're going to wear to a party, or you're going to wear when you want to have some fun. It's even the name Gucci Rush kind of elicits that kind of 80s drugs poppers kind of vision of it, and I think that that's what this perfume is all about. It's all about plastic. It's all about having fun and being synthetic. And this perfume and this box kind of elicit those feelings of like going back to that time. I was around in 1999. I think I was 15 in 1999, and I just remember that kind of looking forward to the millennium and feeling like we were on the cusp of this new age, and that things were going to be different just because the year had turned to 2000, and there was the Matrix film and the Apple Macs, and there was just this feeling of change and newness and colour, and I think this perfume perfectly elicits that time. I mean, I'd love to know if you do have both. If you have the original formulation, you have the reformulated version. What's the difference? How is it different with the peach gone? Does it smell as plasticky? Because this is pretty plasticky. It's not even pretending to not be synthetic. It is out and out synthetic, and I think that is exactly what envisaged for this perfume. It's very long lasting. It's got amazing projection, and yeah, I mean, it's complete party. I feel like a Barbie doll. It's not going to be something I'm going to wear to work. I probably won't wear it a lot because I don't really do too much partying these days. But I think if I were, in my 20s, I would definitely be rocking this on a more regular basis. So yeah, I think again, if I'd have smelt this before I'd bought it, I probably wouldn't have bought it. It's a very, as I said, plasticky, trashy perfume. But yeah, I see the joy in it. So yeah, that's Gucci Rush. Proceed with caution. So the next one I wanted to talk about is one from Paco Rabanne. So this one came out in 2007. Again, it's an eau de toilette, and it's black excess for her. And it comes in this kind of cranberry coloured bottle, which is very appropriate because the top notes are actually cranberry, pink pepper, tamarind, and the middle notes are cacao, rose, black violet, and then the base notes are vanilla, patchouli, and masoya wood. So masoya wood is a milky smelling woody note that's also found in Sarah Jessica Parker's stash. So what do I think of this one? Well, I've been trying this out a lot. Again, I bought a vintage bottle from eBay because this is actually discontinued, although you can buy it at several retailers. I think still I did check, you can find this online very easily. So what does it smell like? Well, when I initially spray this one, I get quite a lot of cranberry, and I also get a lot of tamarind, and I think that's sort of, both of those notes are quite sour and bitter, and I think that's what I get from this perfume. It smells basically the colour of the bottle. It smells kind of dark red. There is some rose and there is some patchouli, and maybe even a bit of vanilla, but really the base note that comes through is really the patchouli. And actually, for a perfume with patchouli, this is quite a short-lived one. On my skin, it lasts maybe 1 or 2 hours. You can see that like this bottle was maybe like there when I first got this, So I've sprayed a hell of a lot over the last couple of days, and that's just because it just doesn't last. I do get that some people think this is very synthetic, and again, I do weirdly smell a plasticky smell from this. It's not like the vinyl smell of Gucci Rush, but it's more like I don't know, like I think it's something to do with how it settles on my skin. It just smells a bit plasticky to me. So again, I don't know whether if I'd have been browsing these in a shop and picked it up and sprayed it on me and tried it and then walked away, and as I tend to do, and then come back and had tried it again another day, etc. I don't know whether I would have chosen this one because of the longevity issues and also because of that slight plasticky weird note in the dry down. But actually, like the initial spray of this, I really do enjoy. I think it's, yeah, they're like that cranberry kind of, cranberry, rose, patchouli, tamarind mix is really nice, really heady, and it's kind of a little bit gothic even, you know, even the bottle looks quite gothic, the smell is kind of dark, and I think it really smell lovely on a man. I think I'd really enjoy smelling this on a man. So yeah, black excess for her, maybe more black excess for him. So yeah, that's my second perfume blind buy. So my third blind buy is a totally different beast. Like those two were quite plasticky, quite synthetic, quite like dark, quite gothic. This one, none of that. This one is springtime. This is one that I chose specifically for this season because I just wanted something, you know, that was easy to wear, that was floral, that was, you know, green, that was, you know, going to remind me of the joys of spring, was going to make me not feel like winter is never ending as I always seem to do. So I just bought this one. So this one is Vanitas by Versace, and this is the Eau de Toilette formulation again, continuing my theme of this week, buying Eau de Toilettes. So Vanitas is quite a green floral perfume, which is exactly what I was looking for a springtime perfume. And it's got notes of rose petals and freesia, and then osmanthus, continuing my obsession, as well as tiare flower, and then black tea and cedarwood in the base. I smell all of the notes apart from really the cedarwood. I think the base is really only the black tea for me. I think this is a really pretty fragrance. I think it's mainly leaning towards the freesia and the rose really for me. There is that kind of creaminess from the tiare flower and the osmanthus, and then the base note of the tea, but really very green rose. And it's not like a luminous rose like Angel Nova is, or you know, something like L'Extase Rose Absolute from Nina Ricci. It's not that kind of rose at all. It's a very kind of gentle green rose, very watery rose with the freesia. So this one I've been trying on my skin all week, and this kind of lasts for maybe 3 hours on me, 3-4 hours. It's quite strong actually when you first spray it. It's really does project, I think, for the first couple of hours, but yeah, not really much after that, and then it kind of becomes a very close skin scent, maybe 4 hours max. I think this perfume would work really well in a workplace. I think it's very inoffensive, and it's a skin scent from a couple of hours on. So I think that this will be perfect if you work in a place where you're not meant to wear scents. It's a perfume just for you, I think. So that's Versace Vanitas EDT. So that's it for this video. If you like the video, please press the like button, and please consider subscribing, because I do a lot of perfume videos, and I also do empties videos, and I also make favourites videos. So if that's the kind of thing that interests you, then I'd love to have you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.